It looks hotter than it is out here. It's not even that hot, but I'm adjusting still. Trigger alert, everybody. I have a trigger alert for you. My Mother's Day message is going to be a message from my mother passed on to her daughters and granddaughters. And so, as some of you guys know, I'm not privileged to be a part of 3 of my daughters' lives right now. I have 4 kids who I don't get to see. And so I am sharing this message in a hope that, well, I know my daughters look me up. So I love you guys. I'm trying to be a part of your lives. We have a little friction right now going on between your mother and I, aka she hates me. So what would my mother, if she were alive, bless her soul in heaven, I keep having it come back to me. My mother was adamant on supporting the patriarchal order in the home. What does that mean? That means that my mother was well aware that being a stay-at-home mom for her was provided by my father, who, yes, worked 3 jobs. Yes, I saw him work those 3 jobs. Yes, I was the child who was falling asleep in class all the time back in California because my dad would be done working his roofing job during the day on top of roofs, scraping off people's roofs so that the roofing people can come and put a new roof on. And then he would come home and he would eat, and then he would get ready for his second job. And at this time, he was only working 2 jobs, but he was working an Ecolab pest control job where he would have to go and spray the restaurants every night between the Orange County area and the Riverside area. And that was his route. And so after his full-time roofing job, and roofing's hard work, he'd come home, change his clothes, and he and I, his son, would go out with him, and I would drive the truck around the parking lot so he can do the spraying because the chemicals were hooked up to the truck. So if I just drove really slow, me and my 14-year-old self around the building, he could spray at the same time and he wouldn't have to keep getting out of the truck and doing it himself. So we were a team, but that also required us getting home at 6 o'clock in the morning. So me doing my dad's, and I don't know if my brothers and sisters knew this, but that was part of my childhood. That was part of me helping mom and dad to make ends meet so that we can pay the bills and institute this dream that my parents had. My parents had a dream to move to Utah, and for my dad and my mom to sell our house and to save up enough money to have this dream come to pass. My mother supported that man with a respect, not as his doormat, not as his less than, as his counterpart, as his helpmate. My mom was the one who was waking up with him, yes, at 3:30 in the morning, making his breakfast, yes, at 3:30 in the morning, packing him a lunch, yes, at 3:30 in the morning. She was a sender-offer type of wife. She wasn't a stay-in-bedder. And I mean that with the most respect and the most love, because I know now what it took for my mother to be a sender-offer. Believing in the patriarchal order, believing that, yes, the man who is waking up to go fight the battles of the day and raise the money and go and provide deserves an amount of respect while you stay in the home and are able to raise the children. That form of thought is so offensive to people. And it's so funny to me because I think to myself, why is that so offensive? Bro, Somebody wanted to provide for me and allow me to. I'm totally kidding. I'm joking. I'm totally kidding. But no, seriously. There's a level of respect that I think is missing for men nowadays. And now even men believe, okay, so I'm going to wake up at 3:30 in the morning for the family, to support my family. And or whatever time your wake up is. My dad's wake up was 3:30 in the morning. And so that's real to me. I saw it when he worked at Garrett Air Research. And then back in LA. So his commute started at 3:30 a.m. And my mom was up. But my mother was raised by a mother who we esteem in our family and anybody who knew her as top of the pedestal, top tier, top shelf. She was incredible. The amount of love this woman had emanated throughout her home, and you could feel it when you walked in her house, and everybody loved to be there at my grandmother's house. Her children, her daughters, her sons were raised in an environment by a woman. My mother was raised by this woman. She had 14 kids. My grandmother, Irene Dole Hanneman, had 14 kids, all birthed by her. No adoptions. She had 14 of them, natural birth. She raised these children as her treasures, supporting her husband in an environment during a women's liberation movements, during the whole women empowerment through the 60s and the 70s and the 80s. And while all these women were complaining about what they weren't getting, this woman thankfully, gratefully left an impression upon my mother. Keep in mind, this woman never drove. She'd never had a driver's license. I mean, I'm sharing her story. I'm not advocating for this. But my grandmother, she embraced her role as a mother, as a grandmother, as a wife, as a homemaker. She embraced it so much that it fulfilled her life to the point where she impacted generations. My mother's being a sender-offer and not a stay-in-bedder was born through the example of my grandmother. My grandmother, for me to recall her with her arthritic knees, barely able to walk, there wasn't a time that I can remember that I woke up before her and I'm an early riser. We Ahquins, we don't sleep. So I'm the first grandkid up and I'm walking around the house and I see her already making breakfast. She's already making breakfast. She's already there controlling the environment of the home with order, with a heart, with love, greeting each grandchild as they too woke up with food, with cream of wheat and cinnamon toast that was of the most delicious nature that to this day, I won't eat it. It's just not the same. The impression she left on my mother and the message I share for Mother's Day is, I challenge you women, I challenge my daughters to be the type of mother that's a sender-offer, that's not a stay-in-bedder. And I do that with all the love I have in my heart, remembering my mother, Irene Mangatula Dole Hanneman Ahquin. My mother was proud of where she came from, her Samoan heritage, her Samoan German heritage, and we are proud to remember her. Happy Mother's Day.